Okay, Thursday morning in the kingdom, yes. And there was a YouTube comment there, yes. Throwback Thursdays, yes. Let's remember back to Throwback Thursday to Thirsty Thursdays when we could drink professionally. Yes, those were the good old days. And this morning we woke up to plus 15. It is warm out here. I got my dinner jacket on, as you would say, but feels like plus 15 Celsius. Then on the yo-yo scale, plus 59 Fahrenheit, but feels like plus 59. Yes, and you notice over here, I untangled the flags for the first time in probably 3 months. I could feel it in the shoulders, reaching up with the stick. Oh, I'm an old guy, yes, holding a stick at the end of the world. And what else we got here? And today we can use the welder. Yes, we're going to weld and weld some more today. And also, too, Johnny G brought the thick ones. Yes, and now we can have full production. All right, we can't order anything by mail or anything like that. In the past, we just ordered these from Princess Auto. They'd be here within a week, yes. But we haven't had mail service since the bastards went on strike back in May. And then the post office closed because everybody got evacuated. And then they went off strike or whatever. And then we had mail for, what, a week in end of June, I think it was. And then everybody got evacuated again. So basically no mail service for 4 months. So Johnny G, traveling south to visit the wife and the grandkids, he can bring us these little things that we need so much. And also, too, the pallets from Sir Rodney that were to be shipped this week have been put on hold. They're delayed again. Yes, just like May long weekend when we didn't ship because it was May long weekend. Well, guess what? We have September long weekend. So it was a mutual agreement not to ship because it would get bunched up and lost on the weekend. Yes. So hopefully after the long weekend, we'll get our pallets of supplies. All right, let's scroll this way to see the sunshine. Yes. End of August and nice sunshine. Yes. Well, it's better than rain, better than forest fire smoke, and better than, how would you say? We're not really sure. All right, I can't see anything. Oh, there, I got the screen back. All right. And also, too, we notice we carry flashlights all the time. Johnny G yesterday had a flashlight on the brim of his hat, just tucked underneath, because he's in the dark trailer. And then when he's back at the terminal in Grief Rapids, he's in the dark. And then when he's at home in his house, he's in the dark. And the staff is carrying a flashlight all the time for when she goes in the stores to do shopping. So that's part of off-grid living. When you're a community living without power, you always have your flashlight. Yes, it's so common. Just like those people in Australia, they always carry around a water bottle because they get thirsty because it's so hot over here. Over there, back in the day, we used to carry booze all the time because we were thirsty all the time. But now we carry a flashlight because we live off-grid. All right, we got to move on full rotation. And the boss is probably going to wonder what I'm doing standing out here for 3 minutes and 9 seconds standing here holding a stick. Oh my, here he comes.
Thursday morning in WHO-ville. It's almost 10 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to turn the welder on so I can do 2 loads of laundry. I have to wash my towels and then my work and sleeping clothes. Since it's a nice sunny hot day out right now, I can hang dry all my laundry outside. Now let's turn the welder on, head inside and start some laundry. Then this afternoon I'll go over to the kingdom.
Okay, 10 o'clock in the morning, so that's 55 hours since we started draining this 11,000 gallon or 50,000 liter tank. Okay, so I put my hand on it. I can't feel the coldness. The whole tank is cold. When the sun comes out, it'll warm the side of the tank up, and then the water will be cold inside, so I can do a temperature test with my hand. So over here we follow the garden hose, and we know there's still water in it, and you can see it's flowing out there. Yes, we should call it a natural spring. Yes, we'll market it and everything like that. We'll fill water bottles and sell them uptown. All right, let's get to work. The boss is upset. Okay, nice and calm morning here, and we're getting some production done. That'll appease the boss. All right, so we're using the ProPoint 38 Plus, and we're low on air, so we're going to have to start the green toy over there to fill the air tank. Yes, living off grid is so much fun. So we're working outside, and we have lots of shadows. See the shadows? So that makes it hard for an old guy to do all this stuff. So here I'm having troubles with the shadows. I have to position myself so I can see what I'm cutting. And also, too, I watched a YouTube video of a lady from Winnipeg, Manitoba, driving for Portage Cartage out of Winnipeg, and she's booting around the United States of America. Oh, And then she came back into Canada, crossed the Ambassador Bridge, and then she returned back to the United States with the load, and it was raining and dark, and that was hard on my eyes because the video or whatever shows the reflective tape and everything. I don't know how those guys can boot around those, how would say, densely populated cities with the traffic jams on the 401. All right, so we have to make 2 of these to join the brake cables. So they join on right here, okay? But we don't have the material like this, okay? Well, you could buy this for, I don't know how much it would be to get it to the end of the world, but we can't get it here. Yeah, so we have to make it. Also, too, the cables on the 67 and 69 do not have the cylinder style. They have a ball. So I have to make sure that the ball fits through the hole. So we drilled it out. And then we also drilled the holes, okay? So there's the drill over there. See the shadows? Yes. So we drilled that as a guideline, okay? Because we plasma cutted it, and we used the drill holes to center it, okay? And also, too, the tip in the plasma cutter, I was new the other day. We've done lots of cutting, so now it's not exactly blowing straight. So now we just have to take the zip cut blades and make these fit in here. All right, so that'll work out good. And then we turn it over. We put this little piece under here, and then we cut them. Okay, in the past I'd cut my little pieces, screw up the slots, and then what do? So now we're getting smart. Make your slots, make everything, and then cut the pieces out to the size you need. So they won't be very big when I'm done. Now that will get the 2 trucks, both the 69 and 67, having the park brake lever or foot pedal working for the first time in 3 years. Oh my, we're getting these projects completed. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom. Jack is up there, so we know it's lunchtime because he's arrived to have lunch. Yes. Okay, so down here, I made a mistake again for the first time in my life. I've been pushing the buttons over here for the auto shield. Okay, I'm usually playing around outside at 9. Oh, hand and eye coordination lesson. That's 9 for outside, and it was way over here. No wonder I couldn't see when I was plasma cutting, because it was dark as night. Oh yes. All right, so over here we custom made these. They're not perfect, they're close enough for the ladies I go with. Okay, because we could wait another 3 years to purchase these on eBay or Rock Auto to find out they're made in Asia and they're totally junk, and first brake application of the park brake, and these things fold apart or whatever. Also too, we had to do it old school because the die grinder doesn't go into corners, not like the Egyptians building the pyramids. Yes, they could seem to cut rocks in 90-degree corners and stuff. So we had to get the old hand file out, the square hand file. It's old, it's used, abused, but it still works. So we got it nice and smooth in there. And we did all the buffing before we put the edges on. And then we cut these pieces big in the chop saw, and then we buffed it, ground it down with the grinder to get the size we want. So it turned out very well, very pleased, and only 2 hours of work. So now I've used the welder for 2 hours and living off grid. I won't be able to do any more today because I got to cook supper tonight in the oven or the stove. So I can't use the welder anymore, because if I use it tonight for 1 hour for cooking, that's 3 hours use for today. That's the joys of using living off grid. You can only use the welder so much because you only have so much gas supply. All right, let's go burn some lunch. No, we can't. Let's go have a sandwich. Yes, a sandwich. Oh my.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to have lunch today. I'll be having a sandwich with my leftover macaroni salad from yesterday. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out and make lunch.
Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, I checked the tank there at noon, because noon is a lot easier to add and subtract and multiply in 2 than in checking it at 1 o'clock. But the water was still coming out from that garden hose, but it didn't have much pressure. All right, so over here, we got the 38 GMC service truck up and going. We got the tools and everything we need because we're doing maintenance and repair. All right, so we have to get the welder out. That's a 69. This is a 67. So we had to get the welder out because a little bracketry down there. Maybe I can stick the me phone in here. All right, I stuck it in here. Can we see? All right, there. The little bracketry that holds the park brake cable was loose. Most likely this truck went in the ditch on a snowy, windy, wintered day, and there's rocks in the ditch. So this probably got rubbed up against a rock. Maybe that's why the brake cables were cut off, because they were damaged. So now I welded it because it was loose, as it's, how would you say, riveted it on. Now we can start stringing the, stringing the cables so we can have the park brake working after all these years. We've only waited 3 years, so we spend a day doing it. At least we get it done. Okay, I'm under the 67. Can we hear the echo? Because I'm in the pit. See the stairs? Oh yes, and a little bit of water or whatever. All right, we're gonna have to wash that out. All right, so we got that clip or that support bracket welded on, and the clip is in, and this looks good. This is all from the 78. All right, we got those little rubber wear things or whatever, or plastic wear things, and we've gasket glued on the other side because they're old, they're gonna fall out. Even the new ones I'd be gasket gluing. So the only problem we had was we put the exhaust in up here, and we put a bracket here, and then we put one here, okay? Because that's the factory one over there. So we had to get the cable to fit up nice in there, and we got it done. So everything from the 78 fit in here and got us. But the problem is, this is where the thing is cut off or broken right here. Oh, and an eye coordination, last Nesman. So this ball keeps the spring back. So this is the threaded take up or whatever for the 78. There's the cable there. So we clamped it on. So we have to buy this cable. Well, we have to buy it for it to pass the safety. But we've changed a lot of things around. We go for these little limit switches or whatever. That's the reverse backup lights. We change everything because we want quality parts, not that plastic crap. And that's the original shifter from when the motor was in the 67 Chevy back in 1984. And I think, nope, that's the different transmission. Yeah, that's the transmission that came with the 67, this truck, yes. Oh, I'm so confused. All right, so let's get this off the pit and get the 67 over, and then it'll be coffee time. Yes, beverage time.
Almost 2 p.m. and I just let the dogs back in. Now I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to this afternoon. It is kind of warm out here right now. At least there's a bit of a wind, so there's no bugs. Made it to the kingdom, and I wanted to check on my garden before I went down to the shop to see how my dad was doing. It looks like I have a bunch of tomatoes coming in. There's about 5 on this plant and a few over there as well. There's also a bee right in front of me too. I'm not a big fan of bees, so as long as I don't move, you won't see me. I hope. Looks like my lettuce is coming back too. Maybe I'll be able to get some more before winter. And my potatoes are still doing good. Looks like they're starting to die off here. Once they do, then I can pick them. Down at the new shop, and it looks like my dad is working on the 67 and the 69. Perfect time to do it since there's no power and we have to keep ourselves busy. 2:30, my dad is just working on the 69 and the 67, so I'm going to head back into WHO-ville and go finish sorting out the rest of my blueberries. Not sure if you can hear that in the background, but Jack is squawking away in the trees.
Okay, I made a mistake again for the first time in my life. Okay, at 3 o'clock coffee, I didn't film because I was busy and I was covered in never seas. But that tank, 3 days, is 72 hours of draining. So we started it 3 days ago with the 50,000 liters in there, 11,000 gallons. And over here, I moved the garden hose out. So it's sitting on top of the rock. So the viewers can see it trickle out. Yes. It was kind of hard to see hidden in the trees. So there we go. And there's still quite a bit of pressure on it. It's not a trickle, it's moving pretty good. So maybe tonight, before Betty bye, it might be empty, you never know. Okay, 4 o'clock, and we switched everything around and we got it. So that's the 67. The park brake works on it. I parked it over there while I move things around. So over here is the 69 over the pit. And then there's the little bracketries that we made this morning. Can we see that, Les Nesman? There they are. So we got this hooked up. The park brake works. And we got the little rubbers in there, or the plastic things, gasket glued in, because they just fall out anyways. All right, so here's the trailing arm right here, the bushings. I just re-oiled them down because I've been oiling them over the years, and they're loose, so we think that the oil should go through. So when we bought everything, basically we were going to get these trucks on the road and drive and everything. So during the evacuation, when we had to pack up the house in, what, 12 hours or whatever, I made sure to put everything into bags, okay? So most of this stuff is 2023. We're ordering parts. There's lots of new stuff. There we go. there's the new bushings. We got them through Rock Auto back in 2023 or 2022, I'm not sure. So there we go. So that'll be the project. That doesn't require electrical power or welder power or anything like that. We got a bunch of other things we got to put on, spark plugs, you name it. So we're buying the stuff, and you got to have the cigarette lighter. I don't know why we have 4 of them. I don't know what I was thinking, but I grabbed everything as we were evacuating to get everything out of the house in case it burned. And then all this stuff was in the steel shed, so after the fire we had something to work with. Yes. And the notes, yes, the notes, it tells you everything we've done. All right, let's get figuring this out. That'll be a nice relaxing thing to do, and to drink Gatorade in the heat.
5 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to turn the welder on so I can make supper. Tonight I'll be having fries in my toaster oven with gravy. I do not have any cheese. I forgot to grab some at the store, but that's okay. I'll just have fries and gravy tonight. Now let's head inside, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, 5 o'clock in the kingdom and we're done. Yes, we've done enough today. The boss should be happy we got the park brakes working on both film trucks. Now we can park them and they won't roll away. And I was too tired and lazy to move the 38 GMC back into place. So now I blocked in the mini hose, so I'll be cursing when I have to get the mini hoe out. Oh well, I'm an old guy, I can do that. All right, it's warm out here. We've got all the doors open on me. Ow, I got a bee in my mouth. Oh, see him down there? Oh. That's something else. That thing landed in my mouth. I just about had him for supper. All right. So I got all the doors open on the welding sleigh over there because gonna cook some supper, so it'll get hot in there. Hopefully keep it cool. We won't have much welder time today. Probably half an hour to cook supper, and the sun is warm. All right. So I entangled the flags today, so they're all tangled back up. Oh well. Let's go walk the dogs and see how bad that bee was in my mouth, and we'll make a video. Talk to you later.